from San Francisco, California. This is the Rock and Roll Geek Show. This is the story of my rock and roll butler.
Welcome to the Rock and Roll Geek Show. My name is Michael Butler. Thanks a lot for joining me. I really appreciate it. Today, hold on, let me turn this fan off. Today is Sunday, August 8th, 2021, and it's 4:15 when I'm recording this episode. I just got home. I had Featherwitch practice, the band Featherwitch. I'm in so many effing bands, I can't even remember which ones I'm supposed to be doing songs with. Anyway, I had a gig last night with JJ Savage in Pacifica. If you listened to yesterday's episode, you heard me talking gear with all the guys in the band. There's only three of us total, me, Andy, and JJ. And I had a gig last night. It went well. I think I played okay. I played adequate, let's put it that way. The energy was off the charts. We had great energy, rocked out on stage, and it was a powerhouse show. But there was some, it was not perfect on my part. I haven't played in a power trio in I don't know if I can't remember. Last time I played in a power trio was in a band in Jacksonville, Florida with a guy named Matt Harding, who's no longer with us. There's stories about that in the book that I'm writing, or that I was writing, that I have not finished, and who knows if I ever will finish it. Maybe when I retire, who knows. Anyway, it's difficult to play in a power trio and hold down the bottom when you have a guitar whiz kid like JJ Savage, because his whole thing is he's a shredder, and he's a shredder in the way like Slash is a shredder. And when he's shredding, I got to keep the bottom end going, and I got to do background vocals, and it's difficult. But it was not perfect, but it was adequate, and people seemed to like it, and a good time was had by all. By the way, mask mandates are back indoors here, and this bar supposedly required you to wear a mask inside, but nobody inside was wearing a mask, and everybody was shaking hands. So it was potentially a super spreader event, but a good time was had by all, and hopefully I won't get the corona. So today I had Featherwitch practice. Hold on, let me take a sip of this fine Tecate here. This is the third one of the day because I drank two at Featherwitch practice. Hold on. We had to practice in Santa Rosa today. We have a gig coming up on Friday in Albany, California, at a place called the Ivy Room, which is always fun. Let me put up this zipper thing here. We're having our floors refinished, and I'm here by myself. Oh, anyway, I'll get to that. We're playing at the Ivy Room on Friday, and if anybody's around the Bay Area, come say hi, friends. It would be nice to see you, and we'll have a beer. Anyway, so we had to practice in Santa Rosa, which is an hour-and-a-half drive from here. And I just got back. We had 11 a.m. practice. I got home about, probably about midnight last night, and got up at 6 o'clock this morning. So I'm on 6 hours sleep. It was not too bad, but I'm a little bit tired. But I played well at Featherwitch practice because I felt like I just got off stage. I was warmed up. So here I am by myself at the house, me and one of the dogs, Stella, who is in heat. My wife and Brian took off up to the mountain house for at least a week, possibly more, possibly longer, because we're having the floors in Brian's room and Martina's room refinished. So they thought they would use this time to get out of the house, but I had to stay here because one, Stella's in heat, and two, I have so much work and I can't afford to take off. I got people breathing down my neck to paint their house. So I'm here alone, and I have this zipper walls created so they don't make dust and smell on the rest of the house. So hopefully it's going to be okay, because I don't know if you listened last time when they were doing the floors, I was sleeping in my office and I had my head stuck out a doggy door because I was suffering so bad from the fumes. But hopefully this will be okay. I'm in my kitchen right now. I thought what I would do is a little cooking with Butler. I was watching this show called, on PBS, it's a cooking show. Everybody loves cooking shows on PBS. Those things they bring me such joy and happiness because I just love watching these people cook. And they're low budget shows, but I really like them. Anyway, there was a show I was watching. This guy, Steven Reichland, who's a barbecue whiz. And he was doing a show about Maryland crabs. Here's my dog, Stella. I just fed her. Hey, Stella. He was doing a show about Maryland crabs. And he did a crab boil out on the grill. I'm not going to do it on the grill, but I went to the Chinese grocery store or not Chinese, but the Korean grocery store. There's a great Korean grocery store that just opened up in San Francisco called H Mart. And Brian and I went there yesterday when we were taking a break from cleaning out the bedrooms for the floor guys, and we went there to get some fried chicken for lunch because they have a little food court at this H Mart place. And while we were waiting for it to open, we went shopping in the grocery store, and I found a pack of frozen blue crab, half cut, and said, well, I'll give this a try. Maybe I'll do myself a crab boil. So I'm thinking to myself, when Brian and my wife leave, it's just me and Stella here, I'll have myself a little crab boil, a crab feast, Maryland crab boil. So I got this frozen crab. How many are there here? There's they're cut in halves. 1, 2, 4, maybe 8 crabs. So that's a perfect amount for one guy. So I figured we would cook together. Let me put the phone in my pocket. I'm using backpack in the kitchen here. So Steven Reichland's recipe is kind of a classic crab boil. Let's see here. I also got some rice I'm doing in this Donabe clay pot rice cooker that I got from Japantown, which is supposedly the best way to cook rice. I got some dashi. This is going to be for my lunch, and I'm doing this rice in the Donabe rice cooker on the side. So his recipe, so I figured we'd make it together here. Let me pull out my ingredients. I bought some okra. Let's wash the okra here. Da 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 da. Okay, little cooking with Butler audio version. So here, we probably won't eat it because it takes 20 minutes for this stuff to cook, but we'll get it going, and then I'll play a song and we'll before we get out of here. So I got some okra. I'm gonna put those in this pan here. I got some, let's see, some corn on the cob. My dog is really crying. She's pissed off because she can't go to the mountain house. Oh, speaking of the mountain house, I forgot about this. I don't know if you know about all the wildfires that are going on in California, but there is the Dixie Fire, which is supposedly the largest wildfire of all time in California, or on record. I don't know if that's true or not, but that's what they say. And there's one called the Monument Fire, which is actually about 8 miles or 8 to 10 miles from my house. And they're evacuating a place called Junction City, a town called Junction City, which is about 10 miles from my house. So I'm hoping that our mountain house does not burn down. I could use your hopes and prayers, friends. So that's what the wife and Brian are up there hoping, that they don't get evacuated. Let's hope they get that fire under control. All right, so back to the cooking. I got some okra here, a couple of corn, some white corn. I've got 2, so I'm going to open those. Shuck the white corn. All right. And I also got, let's see, break that in half. I'm layering these things in the pan. I should probably layer them separate, but fuck it. I'm gonna put the white corn. And I also got some white onion. Let's get those, and we're gonna cut those in half. Let's see here. White onion. We will peel the white onion. I'm gonna leave the butt end of the white onion. I don't know if you guys are hoping for some rock and roll talk. Well, you're gonna get it cooking with Butler today. All right, so tomorrow I have a couple more audio comments, and thank you for the audio comments, everybody. Please keep them coming. I got a show review from the Handsome Dick Manitoba show from Adam Gerstein that I'll be playing this week as well, which I can't wait to hear that. Let's see. Now we're going to cut these onions into quarters, and you leave the butt end on them, and it keeps so the onions don't fall apart. I got some andouille sausage. I went to the local grocery store, the mom and pop grocery store called Gus's Market down the street, and they have this beautiful andouille sausage. I'm going to cut that into about 2-inch pieces. Oh, it smells good, man. Fuck. All right, and I got a couple of red potatoes. This is not in Stephen Reichland's recipe. I don't think that's the Maryland crab thing, but whenever I did the crawfish boils, we used red potatoes, and I'm kind of wanting some potatoes, so I'm going to cut each of these. I got 2 red potatoes. I'm going to cut those into quarters. I'm going to throw those in the pot here. All right, and I bought myself a bottle of wine, a half bottle of Chateau de Cambis Bordeaux. All right, now we're going to season the crab. Let's put that crab in this colander here. Ooh, it's good looking crab. How does it smell? No smell at all. That's how you can tell it's good seafood, friends. Can't wait for this crab feast. Me and the dog sitting here eating crab. All right, so to season the crab, you are supposed to use Old Bay seasoning. Do I have any Old Bay? Of course I don't. But I do have some Slap Ya Mama, so I'll use some Slap Ya Mama seasoning. What do we got here? Southern Flavor Cajun seasoning too. I'm going to use the Slap Ya Mama. Okay, Slap Ya Mama Cajun seasoning. Oh, put that on the crab. Heavily season the crab with this. Heavily season. He says you want to really lay the seasoning on because you want it to, he said, a good Maryland crab boil, it should burn your lips. So I got Slap Ya Mama. Oh, that's good. I just tasted it. I also have this Seminole Swamp seasoning that Michael Street sent me a long time ago. And this stuff's really good. I'll add a little bit of that to it. And then I'm going to add some ground black pepper. I just bought this because I usually grind my own black pepper, but I don't have enough to do it, so I bought some already ground. So let's add some of that. I said heavy on the pepper too, so let's dump a crap load of that on here. All right. Alrighty, dump the crabs in here. That looks good. My mouth is watering already. I can't wait to eat this crab. Okay. Oh, and I also got some garlic. It said you take these garlics and you just the whole head of garlic and cut that into a quarter. It's in there whole. Don't clean the garlic or anything. He just dumped them in there. So that's what I'm going to do. And he also covered it with some Coleman's mustard powder. I don't know if he used Coleman's, but Coleman's is the classic New Orleans mustard powder. So let me get this thing open. I just bought, oh shit, spilled it everywhere. That's great. Let's add some mustard powder to it. All right, and then you're gonna pour some beer on, some white vinegar. He said white vinegar. All right, there's a little bit of white vinegar. And I'm not going to use all that because I want to have some white vinegar left over for other times. And he said a couple of bottles of beer. I'm just going to dump this whole can of Tecate in here. And I should probably go down and get another Tecate. All right, I think we're ready to go. I'm going to go down and get the other, well, I'll go down to get the other Tecate now because I need one to drink. All right. I hope you're with me on this Cooking with Butler Maryland crab feast. If you're not, you know, you can always skip this one, like I said. All right, we got another, I'll bring up two Tecates, one for me and one for the crabs, right, Stella? Ah, that's good. That's good Tecate. All right, let's dump another can of Tecate in this crab. You hear that? That's the sound of a crab feast. All right, then I'm gonna put it on the stove and I'm gonna let this go for about 20 minutes. Just gonna cover it up here. Come back in 20 minutes. Hope you enjoyed this Cooking with Butler. Little Maryland crab feast. Solo crab feast. I'm cleaning up my mess here. Clean as you go. All right, so I'm gonna play some music. Thank you for listening to this, friends. If you stuck around for all 15 minutes of this Maryland crab feast Cooking with Butler, I'm gonna close out with a song that was sent to me by Michael Street, who also sent me the Seminole Swamp Seasoning. Steve Whiteman from Kicks has a solo album called You're Welcome. Have not heard this. I just grabbed one randomly, so hopefully it's going to be a good song. If it sucks, let me know. rockandrollgeek@gmail.com. Find this show, rockandrollgeek.com. Find me on the Facebook, R&R Geek. There's a Rock and Roll Geek Facebook group. Very active, lots of good rock talk. Sign up, friends. You just got to answer 2 questions so that I know you're not a mask conspiracy theorist. All right. That's enough ways to reach me. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Oh, yeah, by the way, value for value. If you like the show, contribute any way you can by either, as Adam Curry says, your time, your talent, or your treasure. All right. Thank you for joining me on day 8 of the Dog Days of Podcasting, where I attempt to do a show a day for the entire month of August. I'll talk to you tomorrow, friends. Here's Steve Whiteman.
Oh, geek train wreck.